Welcome, one and everyone, to this week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings, episode 273 or 4. Cigar Ox says that it's 274. Alright. I think it's 273. You know what? No, I'm just going to believe you. It's 274. I am your neighborhood friendly Oxhorn, here as always set with my suspenders to maximum stun. We have a great show for you all today, ladies and gentlemen. And I need to know whether or not you can hear or see me, because all of the comments that I see in the chat right now don't appear as if I'm actually streaming. So if you can hear me or see me, say, Oxhorn, I can hear and see you. This will make me happy and feeling better about things. Everyone's talking about Happy Hallows, and it is indeed the eve before Halloween. Okay, finally, I'm starting to see something. Gentleman Badger says that the classy man himself arrives on the scene. Good. Does that mean you can see and hear me? It's Oxhorn. All right. You all can see and hear me. This is great. Looks like my chat is just delayed a little bit. So I've been watching your comments from like 5 minutes ago. But the show is starting. I am live. It is the day before Halloween. Halloween's Eve, or Happy Hallows Eve, as many are saying. I hope you all have some fantastic plans. Black Shawarma says, good evening, sir, in your shocking appearance. True, that my appearance on this program is indeed shocking. Few would be able to predict that Oxhorn would appear on Oxhorn's show, but hey, that's just the way I roll. No, you are not late, Dragon Exile. Dragon Exile is wondering if he's late, and Greg McLovin Hardtongue is pleased that there is no lag. Great, no lag? Well, you're right, she is not playing Destiny right now. In fact, I'm waiting on a food delivery. That's right, we were supposed to sit down and eat a really nice dinner just before the program, but the delivery guy has taken a long time. Too long. In fact, the show has started and I do not have my meal. Ulfer17 says, so your evil stash is your costume. Black Shawarma says, no, how you suddenly appeared mid-sentence. A bit shocking. Is that what happened? Because I waited quite a while before it started. Well, anyway, strange quirks and gremlins in the program this morning. But welcome, one and everyone, to this week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings, episode 273 or 274, depending upon how you look at things. I'm not sure what I believe. But I did do something to my stash. As you can see, it's a little... I didn't really give it the full English handlebar. I just sort of brushed it to the side. So that's my costume, ladies and gentlemen. But no, I went to a Halloween party last weekend, and my beautiful family all dressed up for it, and I've got those photos to share with you. So you're gonna get to see Oxhorn's Halloween costume. This is not really it. This is just my half evil side. See, this side is evil, and this side is not, because I couldn't get it to curl. So I'm only half evil today. Next week, maybe I'll be full evil. Black Shawarma says, yes, you blasted in mid-sentence, and now I might have to stick around to make a delicious smoke ship dinner request. Maybe. But see, the thing is, if the delivery guy comes with the food... Oh, what? Is that it? Hello? Alright, hold on. We've got... Oh, thank you very much. Lock the door for me, would you? Alright, love you. Alright, so here we go. This is Oxhorn's dinner. This is what you all came to see. A man on the internet eating food. Look at that. It's a hot dog, a plain hot dog, in a bun with cream cheese. Alright, we gotta try this sucker. See if it's any good, ladies and gentlemen.
The great music of the 1920s and 1930s deserves to have an appreciative modern audience. You can help it find that audience. Why not email your friends right now? Let them know about the wonderful music you're enjoying right here on Radio Dismute. Radio.com. Happy Music Radio.
I can't complain. I apologize. I should not be speaking with my mouth open. That would be unclassy. I almost feel sorry that I'm eating in front of you. This is a rare occurrence. Here at Scotch and Smoke Rings, I try to eat beforehand, but you know what? The belly is hungry, and I have to eat now because I have an extra long and extra special show for you all tonight. That's right, this episode will likely go longer than 8 o'clock. So, I hope you guys are ready. Gentleman Badger says, speaking with your mouth open. It's hard, you know, to maintain civility and manners when you're also trying to host a show. So here we go. Amazing hot dog. And that's why I'm called Oxhorn. Okay. Dragon XL says, are we going to any haunted houses tomorrow? Oxhorn. No. Tomorrow's just a day of work for me. No big haunted houses. Our family celebrated Halloween a few days ago, last weekend. So we're pretty good on all that. We had our fill of candy and snacks, but not our fill of hot dogs, obviously. Everybody's craving hot dogs now. I apologize. That's my bit. Greg McLovin Hartung asks, what drove you to do a secret live stream while a good chunk of us were sleeping? Is it to appeal to some of the foreign fans? Yeah, so Greg Hartung is referring to some super secret special streaming sessions that I had this week, and I've actually done a few in the past, where really late at night, like 2 in the morning, I'll announce that I'm streaming, and people can come join me. I did that a few days ago. Usually, yes, it is partially to give some time to the fans who live across the pond, those who live in a time zone all completely different from my own, so that they can hop on and say hi to me too. But also because sometimes I'm just up late and I can't sleep, and I've been working all day, and I want to relax, and so I play a little Hearthstone, and I might as well be streaming it with you guys. William Moore says, I had a meal of chicken and green beans with a glass of iced tea. That sounds very healthy. I'm envious of you. I'm having a meal of hot dog and cream cheese with a glass of scotch. Equally as good. Here we go. Let's enjoy it. Trevor Green says, Ox, there's a recipe for your wife that you should try for dip. It's a buffalo chicken dip. Use Frank's red hot sauce, but it's time consuming because you have to shred chicken by hand. Oh, you're making me salivate here. Shawarma says, wait, cream cheese on a hot dog? Yes, I know it sounds weird, but trust me. Look, one day, 5 or 6 years ago, I was on campus. This was back when I was going to college full time. And I was walking between my classes, and there was a hot dog cart in the middle of Red Square. We had this big brick Red Square. And I go up there, and I'm ordering my hot dog, and he says, would you like cream cheese on that? And I'm like, who puts cream cheese on a hot dog? And he says, wait, you got to try it. Try it at least once. And I said, all right, I'll try it. Oh, my goodness. It was like a window opened up, and the breath of God came down and inspired something new within me. I hope I'm not talking too highly, but cream cheese on a hot dog is amazing. Brilliant. Cigar Ox asks, did something come in the mail today? Yes. I went to the mailbox expecting any number of things, and lo and behold, I open up this package from Cigar Ox, and it's a humidor. Look at this thing. This is an authentic, aged, well-loved, well-used humidor. This has tat. This is the dream of any cigar aficionado, to have a humidor with history. But not just that, he sent me his old humidor and filled it like a good man with some amazing cigars. It's got a hydrometer right there, a magnetic hydrometer, so that I can keep the contents at 70. Man, this is what happens when I eat and then do the show. I apologize profusely. Excuse me. So that I can keep the contents at 70% humidity. And in this room right here, which is well warmed, I can keep it at 70 degrees. So this is now my new favorite desktop humidor for my office. He filled it with some standard sized cigars. But then he gave me this one, which I'm going to smoke today. What is that? My goodness, ladies and gentlemen. This is just... This is an amazing cigar that I can't wait to set on fire. Let's take it out of the container that it's in. Holy cannoli. Now that is a stogie. Here's his letter. He sent a very nice letter, which I'm going to read to you all. I hope it's okay, Cigar Ox. He says, hey Oxhorn, here is an early Christmas present. My very first humidor. I can't use it anymore since I buy big ring gauge cigars and have two big humidors for them. So, I've sent it to a new home. Give it lots of love and cigars, and make sure that the kids don't use it to break the studio with, which of course they might if they ever get their hands on it. You remember a few weeks ago when Gavin took my little green cigar box and started banging on this single pane glass window with it. I'm actually surprised that he didn't shatter the window. Anyway, I'll have to keep it out of his hands. Of course, he continues, there are some treats inside, including a Gran Habano Corojo No. 5 Grandioso 7x70. A very good and very big cigar. That should last about 2.5 to 3 hours if you don't savor it. Enjoy and thanks, Cigar Ox. P.S. Let's see if the people out there could top this one. Alright, he has dropped the gauntlet, ladies and gentlemen. Is there anyone else who can step up to the plate and make me as delighted as I am right now? Look at that thing. That is an amazing... So by gauge, he means the circumference of the cigar. The thicker the cigar, the bigger the gauge it is. And it tends to smoke slower and last longer. So not only is it a thicker gauge cigar, like a nub, but it's also just as long as a regular cigar, if not longer. This is a 7-inch cigar, so... I look forward to smoking that one. Thank you very much, Cigar Ox. You humble me whenever I get one of your packages. I am thrilled beyond belief. Thank you very much for patronizing this show and supporting Scotch and Smoke Rings. This man, he gives to charity. He certainly gives to charity. Joan says, man, you'll be smoking that for a year. Yes, this is why I said that tonight was an extra long episode. because I have to smoke this. This is not going to be done in an hour. This is going to take us a good long time. So I hope you guys are ready for an exciting night of Hearthstone and fan art and cigars and hot dogs. I have another one here. I can't let it sit there and get cold. That would be an insult to the hot dog maker.
This is my lucky day, and look at me. Now I'm in closer, but I'm glad all over, and I want to yell, hooray. And I found a little horseshoe, that's why I couldn't go wrong. And then you little devil, you came along. I'm lucky.
Great idea. Excuse me. Doomageddon says voicemails. Brilliant idea. Why don't we go through your voicemails so that you guys can be entertained while I stuff my maw with hot dog. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I've received quite a number of fantastic voicemails from you all. For those of you who don't know, you can leave a voicemail by going to scotchandsmokerings.com, and there's a little floating, hovering button on the website that you can click and record your own voice. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get through some of your messages. First up on the list is Eddie. Eddie, you are on Scotch and Smoke Rings. What is on your mind?
How do I fix my Timberland boots? Would that help?
I think this fine fellow Eddie is not a fan of the program, but instead came upon my website using Google and is referring to my article on Never Wet, which is used on boots. And this fine fellow has a pair of Timberland boots, and he's wanting to know if Never Wet will work on boots. Okay, thank you for that, Eddie. I'll have to message him later. Next up, we have Gentleman Badger. Gentleman Badger, you are on the program. What can I do for you?
Hail, good sir. I have a quick question for you. A query, if you will. Of all the new models introduced in Warlords of Draenor, which is your personal favorite? Also, just a fair warning, watch out for Lord Jaraxxus. Have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you, Gentleman Badger. This isn't working. I will indeed look out for Lord Draxus. That's top of my agenda. Anyway, which models do I like best? The skinny ones? No, the Tauren models. That's right, the Tauren models are probably the ones I like best. Great question. Next up, it's Jonath. Jonath, you are on the program. What is on your mind?
Greetings, Oxhorn. This is Jonath. I know it's been a while since I've left a message, so I'll get straight to it. I was wondering if you had seen the footage on the rocket crash that was supposed to resupply the International Space Station. Get your thoughts on that. I was also wondering if given the chance to go to space, would you take it? I was also wondering what your thoughts on the possibility of another space race. I know these first couple are a little off topic, but they just came to me and I was curious. I was also wondering if you were seriously thinking about possibly having co-hosts via some form of hangout through Google or some other, maybe Skype, with the fans being co-hosts on the show. Look forward to the show tonight, sir. Stay classy.
All right. Great questions, and thank you for taking your time. It allowed me to finish my delicious hot dog. And thank you all for bearing with me while I eat my supper. Cheers. Let's wash it down. To answer your question, yes, I did see the footage of that disaster. Thank goodness nobody was harmed. But it's scary to think that in 2014, we have not yet perfected a technology that we first started testing in the 50s and 60s. 40 to 50 years later, we don't have this down. We don't know how to shoot something into space without blowing it up. That's slightly bothering. But at least nobody died, and at least everybody on the space station still has enough supplies to last them until next March. So, not the end of the world, but definitely a huge waste of money and a great tragedy. But, not a tragedy, but a bummer. But then to your second question, yes, I would love to go to space. For those who know me, you know that I'm also a pretty big space buff. Sometimes you'll see it on my Twitter stream where I'll talk about the Rosetta mission and how they're taking a look at that comet. I just find that stuff interesting. So yes, I would love to go to space sometime. Next up is Imagine Justin. You were on Scotch and Smoke Rings, my friend. What is on your mind? Whoops, I pushed the wrong button. There we go. You're on the air.
Greetings, Oxhorn. Imagine Justin here. How's your day been?
Well, yours?
I won't be able to make it to the show
Oh.
because there's been a lot of things happening at the moment. But here's my question. Would you be able to do a show on Halloween night for a special event to show the studio and decorations and stuff like that? If not, then that's fine. That'd be awesome.
Well, Imagine Justin, I really appreciate your comment. That would be awesome. If I could do that, but I'm not prepared for it, and it is tomorrow, so that's probably going to be a no. But what I will do instead is I will share with you my family's Halloween costumes. Before we get to the Halloween costumes, let's light up our cigar. So here we are. This is our Gran Habano Corojo number 5, a 7-inch 70 gauge cigar. It looks like one of those funny cigars that you saw from some of the Marx Brother comedy routines back in the day. Look at this. It's so big my cigar cutter won't cut it. Oh no, what am I going to do? Do I have another cigar cutter? I don't. Oh wait, I know what to do. Alright, this is what we call a punch cutter. It doesn't snip off the end, it punches a hole, and hopefully that'll be enough. And it is. Perfect. Oh, look at this beauty. It is gorgeous. Alright, here we go. First, alright, so we need to take exquisite care of this sucker. And so I'm going to light it in the best way possible. First, let's toast the front of it so that we know that the flames will get a firm hold. Now, as I've told you, I'm using a special kind of butane for this lighter that's designed specifically to make it usable on cigars. It's not going to impart any nasty taste to it. So here we go. Let's char the front of it first. Get it nice and black without actually lighting it. This way, when we do light it, the fire catches and spreads appropriately. Then, we've got our cedar. And I'll have to stop talking because this is so large I can't talk with it in my mouth. So what we're going to do is we're going to light the cedar on fire, use the spill to light the cigar, and impart a beautiful cedar taste to it. Fire Ricer says, oh my god, this dude is selling us this stuff. I wish I was. I'm not. I don't have any cigars for sale, sadly. Here we go. Whew, holy cannoli. It's a thing of beauty, ladies and gentlemen. It is a thing of beauty. I'm here for the evening. I'm going to be having a good time. I hope you all are too. Black Shawarma says, well done, Cigar Ox, well done. Indeed, my friend, thank you very much. Cigar Ox, official patron of Scotch and Smoke Rings, setting us up for a pleasant evening tonight. And now Smoke Rings, says Brem Charlong. Oh. Fan art, says Dragon XL. Fan art. Jones says 30 minutes and no fan art yet. Greg McLovin says, yes, please, fan art. Look, I had to eat my dinner, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not ignoring you, but we've got an extra special long episode tonight. I had to eat my supper, and so we'll get to your fan art, don't you worry.
When you're gazing at the moon and start to croon about a pair of eyes like stars in June, that croon you croon means someone's fallen in love.
All right. Put my mouth right in there. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here's your fan art. First up is this from Christina. So for those who don't know, we have a Scotch and Smoke Rings Facebook group, and that is where ladies and gentlemen can submit their fan art to the program. It's a free group. Anyone can join. Here is a bacon slice costume from Christina, and apparently this is a Halloween costume of just bacon. It's just bacon. I would wear that. Sorry. Had to ban some people. Fun times. Anyway, thank you very much, Christina, for that one. Next up is this from Greg Hartung, our very own King Crush user and Hunter player who abandons battles when he knows he's about to lose. No, I take that back. He was pretty good the last time we fought. Anyway, he says, Happy Halloween / Hallows End from your intrepid fan and hardcore Hearthstone duelist. Given my limited resources and currency, I've decided to improve my costume. I'm dressed as a younger and slightly more handsome interpretation of Oxhorn with zug trimmed significantly. I will be boasting this look for a World of Warcraft Halloween stream tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Pacific time with Autumn and Lepidus. By the way, I hope you all can go to that. It sounds like it's going to be fun. And here he is. Here is Greg McLovin Hartung dressed as me, only a younger, handsomer version of me. Good sir, I don't think I'm the one who needs a little bit more humility now, if you think that you are handsomer than me. After all, your beard is but a mere beardling compared to my mighty deciduous forest. That said, your fedora is amazing. You're rocking those suspenders. Nicely done, Greg Hartung. Great Halloween costume. I am humbled, and I hope you guys have a great show tomorrow. All right, next up is this from my cousin, actually, and she's sharing a gallery of some of the contestants at the National Beard and Mustache Competition in Portland, Oregon, that happened last year, or last week. And look at this fellow. Look at this amazing beard. I have to admit, I am a little envious. He's rocking a Galibardi beard, which is well known for being a very circular, round beard. An amazing mustache. And, oh, is that the only one in the gallery? Yeah, apparently that's the only one in the gallery. So she decided to share that with me. Thank you very much, Bridget. Next up is this one. Make more machinima or the crab gets it, says Paul Riley. He says, I know you can't come back, but a little guilt never hurts. And then he's got Barnaby here. Well, I wish I could come back and make some more World of Warcraft machinima. I really do. Thank you for the fan art. Happy Halloween from Eric. And he says, I may unleash King Crush in Hearthstone on Oxhorn, but unlike another hunter, I don't commit suicide when I lose to Oxhorn. He's prodding our very own Greg McLovin Hartung. Well, thank you for that one, Eric. Nicely done. And then there's this from Andy the DK. He is sharing us his classy dog. My classy dog, he actually sits with me. Whenever I smoke a cigar, he is quite the gentleman. And look, his pooch is smoking this very, very fine briar tobacco pipe. Nicely done, good sir. Your pooch is a gentleman among pooches. Then there's this from Anna, 17 types of bacon you probably have not tried yet. What is this? Let's take a look at this. Oh no. Oh no, it's one of those websites where I have to click next every time I want to read the rest of the article, and I hate those kind of websites. But you know what? I love bacon, so I'll forgive them. I just won't patronize them with my viewership anymore. But more research for the rest of us. Here we go from Christina. And she says, I saw this at Walmart, a hat with a beard on it, and it says, hey ladies, my eyes are up here. Nicely done, good, my friend, nicely done. And then, my Christmas photo, or I'm sorry, my Halloween photo album. Here we go. My beautiful wife and my children and I went dressed as the Red Riding Hood. Here I am as the huntsman. Here is my beautiful wife as Red Riding Hood. And here's our little boy Gavin dressed as the wolf. Of course, he took off his hat, which is a wolf head. And then here's our baby girl, Gwendolyn. And she's dressed as none other than the grandmother, as you can see from her little glasses right there. And then here's another photo, very similar. He had his hat on for this one. There he is as the wolf. He's obviously not having too much of a fun time. It was hard to get these shots. It really was. And then she's interested in my axe. But, you know, we had a really good time. And it worked out. So those are our Halloween photos. Thank you for bearing with me. All right, one more bit before we move on with the show. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. This is Scotch and smoke rings, not smoke rings and breathing air. We drink Scotch on this program. We are not ashamed. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. Bottoms up, chin chin. I received a gift. From some friends of mine in the beard community. They're the one DTQ company. They create beard oil. And look what they created for us. Pumpkin spice beard oil. Right, we've got pumpkin spice lattes. We have pumpkin spice everything else. And so, of course, it's time to have pumpkin spice beard oil. I did a review of this beard oil and a video review. If you're interested, here is a link to my review of this beard oil. It's a fantastic beard oil. And if you guys are wanting to grow a mustache for Movember, which is coming up, Movember is coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, Movember, of course, is the month where we grow our mustaches to raise awareness for prostate cancer. So if you plan on growing a mustache, get some pumpkin spice beard oil. It's very seasonal. Check out the article I just linked you to. And one of the major things I like about it is it's got this nice pump action. And it's a really dark oil. I don't know if you can see that, but it's really dark. And the way you use it is just work it into your beard. I waxed my mustache, so I gotta be careful not to mess it up, but there you go. That's how a refined gentleman conditions his beard when it comes close to the holidays. So I hope you all enjoy that and can have a fantastic time with that. All right, let me get your chat boxes back up. Not that I'm ignoring you, but I've been preoccupied by showing off fan art. Nicer says, holy flack, it's Oxhorn. Oh my god, what the fuck? Yes, it is indeed Oxhorn. I'm here before you all today. We're going to be playing Hearthstone in a little bit. Never fear, my friends. Hearthstone shall come up. But before that, we're here to smoke amazing cigars. HT Star says, yeah, I'm not doing Movember again. Such a painful time. That's completely fine. It's not for everybody, my friend. But for those of you who are interested in growing your mustache, Movember is the time to do it. I should create an Oxhorn Movember group. I'm going to think about doing that. Nicer says, remind me of the Oxhorn swear words, please. Sure. There's Boit, Blit, Chack, Flack, Grat, and Walsh. Boit, you're blitting Chack with your flacking Walsh, you gratting Blitz. A whole lot said in that one sentence. And a whole lot of nothing said in that one sentence. Chief Smash says, I'll ask again, any particular reason why you say hearth instead of hearth? Have I been saying it wrong this whole time? Is it Hearthstone and not Hearthstone? Alright, let's do a hands up. Who says Hearthstone? Who says Hearthstone? It's a draw. Maybe it's tomato, tomato, potato, potato, Hearthstone, Hearthstone. I don't know. Nicer says, how do you get used to cigars? They are far too harsh. Well, cigars are definitely not for everybody. Cigars are definitely not for everybody, so if it's too much for you, by all means, don't feel like you have to smoke cigars. In fact, my best friend from college, a longtime buddy of mine, he came over and co-hosted this show with me years ago. This was probably 3 years ago. And he smoked his very first cigar on my program. After the program, he was knocked out. He got so physically ill, he started sweating bullets. He went outside to my back patio and laid on his back with his hands over his chest in a corpse position on the cold cement for like 30 minutes, trying to cool down from smoking the cigar. So it definitely affected him. It doesn't affect everyone the same way. I've been smoking cigars for a while now. Not every day, but, you know, a couple times, at least once a week. And so I've become accustomed to them. My wife is not fond of them. So if you dislike the taste of them, you're not alone. But it's got to be something that you enjoy. Don't force yourself to do it. But if you enjoy a cigar, use it within a moderation. And when you're old enough. Black Shawarma offers his advice. He says, mainly, get older and outgrow the weaker flavors of life. That's like the Ron Swanson way of saying that's how you smoke a cigar. Ghoulbreath says it's hearth, as in hearth, not hearth. Really? So if you light a fire in the hearth, it's the hearth? If you go to pick heather, are you picking hearther? Chief Smash asks, I just asked because you taught me a lesson on pronouncing valet. Well, valet is also an appropriate way to pronounce valet. Americans tend to pronounce it valet. But the British definitely pronounce it valet. At least they did up until normally. But both are actually correct. Valet, valet, Hearthstone, Hearthstone, Heather, Harther. Greg, I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about my old college buddy. Olfer17 says, was that the friend? The same person who voiced Staghorn? No. He was an old college buddy. Blonde hair. He came to my show years ago. I think I have an episode of it up on scotchandsmokerings.com. If you click on the episodes link and scroll down, just keep scrolling until you see 3 of us all wearing hats, and it's a small blonde guy. Nice guy. Shield says, Oxhorn, if the hippie elves cursed you with the inability to grow a beard, drink scotch and eat bacon. That's great advice. Yes, if you are wanting to grow a beard and you can't, go to growabeardnow.com, and if none of those tips work, drink scotch and eat bacon. It's sure to work. Baldock says, let's call the whole thing off. Touche, my friend, touche. Daily14 says, how much is one of those cigars? Well, that would be up to Cigar Ox to disclose, but I'm not asking him to. Gentlemen don't need to discuss the price of a cigar. In fact, here's a little bit of cigar etiquette that I don't know if I've shared with you all before. But in the days of yore, when gentlemen's clubs were really for gentlemen, you know, people who were classy, gentlemen would go into their gentlemen's club and sit down around the fire in their big leather chairs and pull out their cigars, light them up, and talk about politics and literature and historical things going on. And one of the customs was that they would take off the band to the cigar before smoking it. And the reason they did that is because they didn't want to broadcast to everyone around them how rich they were for smoking a really expensive cigar. That was seen as being uncouth. And you wouldn't want to be uncouth as a gentleman in a gentleman's club. So, the true gentlemen take off the band before smoking it so that no one has to know how expensive the cigar was or feel inferior for smoking a less expensive cigar. William Moore asks, hey Oxhorn, what's your opinion on roll-your-own cigarettes? Well, when it comes to smoking cigarettes, roll-your-own cigarettes are definitely the cheapest way to do so. I wouldn't necessarily call it financially responsible, but it's definitely more responsible than buying a pack of Marlboros 2 or 3 times a day. That said, I do not approve of cigarettes personally. That's just my personal preference. I think that most cigarettes are actively designed to addict you, to get somebody addicted. They put all sorts of chemicals and filler in cigarettes with the express purpose of getting you hooked. Cigars are completely different in that there's no filler in here. It's just the leaf. It's just a bunch of tobacco leaves rolled up, and they're seasoned in the way that they're aged. There's nothing else added. And what's also different about cigars is that you don't inhale the smoke, you simply taste the flavor and expel it, and you smoke them within moderation. You don't smoke more than one a day, unless it's a rare occasion. I think I've smoked more than one on this program, only a handful of times. And I've been doing this show for over 5 years, so there's a major difference between cigars and tobacco pipes and cigarettes. And while I certainly don't condemn anybody for their own choice, my personal opinion on cigarettes is that they're not classy, and I don't approve of them. The Beater Downer says, what gauge is that fatty? This is a 70 gauge. A 7-inch, 70 gauge cigar. And it was a gift from Cigar Ox. I'm pretty thrilled. Aero Civic says, okay, let's put it another way. Is a custom of smoking cigars over classic cigarettes more expensive, or is it expensive at all? It depends. So, how much is a pack of cigarettes these days? I don't know. But a cigar you can get from a range of prices. There are $8 and $9 cigars, which tend to be top shelf cigars. And then there are $3, $4, $5 cigars, which tend to be a little lower on the shelf. Or you can go online and get a huge discount by buying them in bulk. And you can sometimes get them down to $1 to $2 a cigar. So individually, they're expensive. But because you smoke them less frequently than cigarettes, over time, it could become less expensive. Many smokers go through a pack a day, and that's $10, $13, $14 a day, whereas many people smoke 1 or 2 of these a week. So, it really depends on how much you smoke. Okay, I'm getting a few requests for voicemails again. And since this is an extra special long episode, I'll go ahead and do it.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System. Your station is KHJ.
Trevor Green says, Hippie Tom. All right, I'll give you an update on Hippie Tom in just a moment. We have 3 new messages here from fans of Scotch and Smoke Rings, those of you who are in the chat. This is the last time I'll check it today. So if you leave another message, we'll save it for next week. But here we go. Doomageddon, you are on the program. What is on your mind, sir?
Happy Halloween, Oxhorn.
Happy Halloween.
I was just thinking today about how the Horde is vulnerable, even though we have Vogin as new war chief. And I'm talking about the vulnerability being Sylvanas. And what I was looking at here is when we're going into the Warlords of Draenor, I'm wondering if anybody is actually keeping an eye on Sylvanas, especially the idea that she might eventually get Frostmourne, or she might would drink some the demon blood and go crazy and all that other stuff. Now let's say she does go crazy down the road and we have to end up fighting her. Which hero, Horde or Alliance, do you think would actually be most willing to take on Sylvanas?
Well, thank you.
I want to leave you with this riddle tonight.
All right, continue.
A father has 2 sons. He gives one son 19 cents.
19 cents.
And the other son 6 cents.
6 cents, okay.
What time is it? Thank you, Oxhorn.
A father has 2 sons. He gives one 19 cents and the other 6 cents. What time is it? It's time to get a new father, because that's not a lot of money. Right? Am I right? Well, to answer your question, first of all, I don't think Sylvanas will ever betray the Horde. She and her Forsaken are too deeply entrenched with the history of the Horde and have too much at stake with the success of the Horde, so I don't think that would happen. But if she were to defect and she needed to be taken down a peg or 2, probably Thrall would be the best one to teach her a lesson. Next up is Andy the DK. Andy the DK, you are on Scotch and Smoke Rings. What is on your mind?
Greetings, Sir Oxhorn. It is I, Andy the DK. How are you doing tonight, my good friend?
Very well.
Sorry I could not attend the last week's episode. College was getting pretty heavy.
It happens.
And it still is at the moment. But I just wanted to say I am back tonight. And I have a quick question. As you know, November is Mustache Movember.
Indeed.
So, Oxhorn, my question tonight is, what will you be doing? Will you be doing anything special on the shows? Maybe waxing up the stash or doing anything with that epic beard of yours? That is my question for tonight. I will be in the chat as always. And have a good Halloween. Have a great weekend. And I will see you next week, sir. Stay classy.
Stay classy, my friend, and absolutely, I will probably be waxing up my mustache a lot. But more importantly, what I'm going to be doing is, you all know that I own a website, growabeardnow.com, We have a lot of subscribers to the website. If you're not a subscriber, you can subscribe with your email address to get all my other thoughts on beards. And what I'm going to be producing is a guide to growing your mustache for November. I'm going to cover the different types of waxes that you can use, the best waxes for when you have a small stash to when you have a larger stash with longer hairs, and some of the other grooming techniques that you can use for your Movember mustache. So that's what you can look forward to, and I hope you'll really enjoy it. Lots of new folks in the chat today. Pleasure to see you all. Disaster says, nice beard, and man, that is the biggest cigar I have ever seen. This was a gift from Cigar Ox, who's in the chat right now. It's a 7-gauge, 7-inch cigar. It's pretty epic, I have to admit. I'm pretty pleased. And then William Morris says, what's your opinion on higher quality cigarillos? I.e. not things like Swisher Sweets or Philly Blunts. I've had a few Philly Blunts and Swisher Sweets given to me as gifts from Shawarma, who's also in the chat, so we'd better not say anything too negatively about those two particular types of combustibles. But when it comes to higher quality cigarillos, I have positive thoughts about them because they are composed of whole leaves of tobacco, much like a cigar, only they're much smaller. So what I don't like are the cigarettes or cigarillos that have one leaf and then have a bunch of shredded tobacco stuffed inside of them. Those tend to not be high quality cigars. But the cigarillos that have tightly compacted leaves, those are going to be the higher quality ones. So if you're looking for some cigarillos, just take a look at that. And you can usually tell the difference by taking a look at the end of the cigar, the one that's already cut. If you see bands of leaves going around in a spiral, that's a good sign. Whereas if you see a bunch of confetti-looking flakes, that's a bad sign. Last message from Dragon Exile. Dragon Exile, you are on Scotch and Smoke... what show is this? Smoke and Scotch Rings? Scotch is... what would you like to say?
Hello, Oxhorn. Since it is a day away from Halloween, why not entertain us with a game more horrifying? Say a few short horror games to give us some wonderful and tasty dreams tonight and following nights. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.
All right. Great question. Look, the only thing I can do is share with you a ghost story that I used to tell my fellow Boy Scouts when I was in the Boy Scouts. Yes, I was in the Boy Scouts. I have fond memories of the Scouts. And we would tell each other ghost stories while we sat around the campfire. And I have a ghost story for you. Here we go, one moment. One night, many years ago, a group of 3 boys decided that it would be fun to break into the abandoned Victorian house located on their cul-de-sac. It had been sitting there for years untouched, and rumors circulated about what was inside of it. These 3 boys were filled with youthful bravado, and they wanted to champion the terrors that might be within. So one night, they packed their bags and their snacks, and they walked to the abandoned Victorian house that was dilapidated, and they found a break in the fence, and they went through the fence, and then they went into the house, and it was dark, and it was dank, and it was filled with spiders, and it was horrible. So, not wanting to appear like cowards, they set down their sleeping bags in the middle of the dilapidated hall on a carpet that was starting to mold, and they put up their propane tanks, and they made some beans, and they had a nice sing-song, and then they fell asleep. One of the boys woke up in the middle of the night. He thought he heard a noise. But he thought to himself, I am not a child. I will not be afraid of any random noise I hear in this abandoned Victorian house. It must have been my imagination. So he rolled back over and went to sleep. But then a few moments later, he heard it again. It was soft. It was low, but distinct. It was a voice. And the voice said this. If the log rolls over, we'll all be dead. Tingles went up his spine. Where did that voice come from? What did they mean by log? And what did they mean by being dead? A million thoughts went through his brain. He decided that he was going to discover the source of this sound. So he picked up his torch and he started going through the house, room by room by room. As he exited the bedroom and entered the hallway, he heard the noise again, only this time it was louder and coming from the end of the hall. If the log rolls over, we'll all be dead. He was visibly shaking now, ladies and gentlemen. This poor boy, no older than 12 years old, with a flashlight in hand, in an abandoned house, starts tiptoeing down the hallway, in the middle of pitch black while his friends sleep, trying to find this ghostly voice. He sees a small dim light at the end of the hallway, coming from a half-closed door, which he presumed was the bathroom. As he gets closer, he hears the voice even louder. If the log rolls over, we'll all be dead. He's shaking so much that the light is ricocheting off of all the walls, and he's finally at the door. And he hears a little bit of a splishing and a little bit of a splashing. And the voice, once more, booming in his ear. If the log rolls over, we'll all be dead. In a burst of adrenaline, he knocks open the door and shines his torch right at the toilet seat. Inside the toilet, he sees 3 flies sitting on a stool, rocking back and forth, saying, if the log rolls over, we'll all be dead. The end. I bet you're scared now, huh? Right, there's my scary story. That's the best I can do. Boy, we had fun in the Scouts, didn't we? Ulfer17 says, sorry, Brandon, but that ghost story would have been scarier if the lights were off and the radio were off. Yeah. Probably. Part of me feels ashamed. Is that... Greg McLovin Hartung says, sorry, but what kind of stool? A wooden one? Hippie Tom, right, all right. Trevor Green 98 wants an update on Hippie Tom. So for those who don't know, Hippie Tom is my neighbor, and I have to speak a little softly because his house is right across from mine, and my window is fairly small. Doomageddon has figured out the riddle. 19 plus 6 equals 25. 25 cents, a quarter, and you would have 2 sons, so a quarter to 2. Nice, that makes sense. Elizabeth says, what kind of stool? It was an old stool. Anyway, hippie neighbor Tom, no major update. I can tell you, however, that he is still obsessed with my garbage cans. The other day, I filled up all the garbage cans and set them out on the curbside, just as I typically do. And then I went inside the house and opened the curtain and monitored the garbage cans for a brief moment. Like clockwork, Hippie Tom comes out of his home, walks over to the garbage cans, and starts rifling through them. And he didn't take anything. I think he was just trying to make sure that all of the garbage was in the appropriate can. I'm not entirely sure what his reasons were, but he is inordinately interested in my garbage. Stutahet01 says, do you have experience with other tobacco products, such as chewing tobacco, snus, or a hookah? If so, what is your preference? Of all of those, I'm going to say that a hookah is my preference. But to put a caveat to that, I haven't had any of them. I've never tried chewing tobacco, I've never tried snus, and I've never tried a hookah. So the only reason I say hookahs is because I believe it's a colder smoke, so it's not going to agitate your larynx very much. But again, my experience with those 3 forms of tobacco is not great, so I really can't offer any advice on that. Update on the game. So those who are regular viewers of Scotch and Smoke Rings know that I'm working with a company here in Seattle that's getting ready to release a brand new game. It's pretty amazing. I've been playing it, and we're ramping up for the marketing push. It's a company called Signal Studios. You can check out some of their other games on Steam. They produced a game called Toy Stories. They produced a game called Ascend. And the next game that I can't give you the title of it just yet, but it's going to be a survival type game. You basically get plopped into this forested world, and you have a few days to find food, to create shelter, and survive the world before you get killed, right? And it's a fun survivalist game, so if you're interested in those kind of games, stay tuned, because that game is going to be coming out soon, and I have a part in it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And if you follow me on Facebook or Twitter, I will do my best to keep you all up to speed, and give out beta keys and alpha keys when the time comes.
You are listening to Radio Disnuke.
Deuce Serrata says Seattle. That explains it. Hey, don't hate on Seattle, my friend. This is my home, and we live in the rain. We have enough to deal with. We don't need any heat. Well, we need heat, just not heat. Macrophage says, isn't that game already out, called DayZ? DayZ is definitely a survival game, but it's set in like a modern time with guns and so forth. Plus, it's not quite as desolate as this game. Chief F. Boris says, is it comparable to Don't Starve? Kind of. I've been playing a lot of Don't Starve recently, and it's a lot of fun. I even played it on a stream with you guys. But that has cartoony graphics, and it's two-dimensional. This game that we're working on is in a full three-dimensional world. It's got... It's medieval themed, so it's swords, arrows, and so forth. It's going to be fun. Elizabeth says, so Oxhorn, we are said to have snow tomorrow. So how is the weather looking for you tomorrow? Well, we're probably not going to be getting snow, but it is going to be raining quite a storm here. We've been having rain the past few days. It's pretty nasty, but it is Seattle, so that is to be expected. Look at the ash. Now that's nice ash. The way it works with these things is you can, one of the ways you can tell a quality cigar is by how long the ash hangs on your cigar before it falls off. As you can see, we're well over an inch here, and that means that it's a very good cigar. It's tightly packed, which means that even after the leaves have been converted into ash, they still stick around. Now, as you can see, it's starting to flay out a little bit, which means that the ash is going to be dropping any time now. So we are about to have a catastrophe. I just hope I'm not holding it over my scotch when it falls, as has happened to me in the past on many occasions. Gentleman Badger says, there's something comforting about being so close to our friendly neighbors to the north. Yes, I am fond of being so close to Canada. I've gone to Victoria and Vancouver a couple of times, and those have always been very pleasant trips. But one of the main reasons I enjoy being in Seattle is because I'm so close to the coast. I live just a couple hours drive away from the coast, and we're right on the Puget Sound, so I can go to the beach almost any time I want, and I'm 30 minutes away from almost any environment. Forest, ocean, sound, desert, as in eastern Washington. It's a great little place to be. I don't mind. Shawarma says, all right, my time has reached its limit. Us old folks get medicated and put to bed. Good night, all. Shawarma, enjoy your evening. Thanks so much for coming and being a good mod today on the Twitch stream. And we look forward to seeing you next week. That one hyena kid says, hey there, Oxhorn. I haven't seen you in a long time, man. Wow, big fan. Watched your vids since I was like 9. I love it when I hear feedback like that, because I really wanted to make sure that the videos that I produced when I was making Machinima were family friendly. I wanted people to be able to watch them with their kids and still be able to enjoy them. I didn't want them to be family friendly and boring. I wanted them to be family friendly and fun. So I'm really glad that you were able to watch them. All right, I'm getting some questions about how to blow smoke rings. And we will go through that really quick and then dive into the game. So let me go ahead and get Hearthstone up. So that we're ready to go. Alright, so for those who are asking on how to blow smoke rings, I'll show you. There are a couple of ways to blow smoke rings. I'll show you my favorite method, and then you can choose the one you like best. Imagine, if you will, that my hand right here is your tongue. And this is the tip of your tongue. And this is the base of your tongue. What you do is you pull the smoke into your mouth. You don't inhale it. You don't swallow it.
Boys, look who it is.
Thank you, dwarf. You bring it into your mouth, and then you make a perfect circle with your mouth. Then, with the smoke in your mouth, you curl your tongue back and flick it out. The smoke comes out your mouth, gets contorted into a perfect circle, and out comes a ring. C'est là. Another way to do it is to use your jaw. Same thing, perfect circle with your mouth, but instead of using your tongue, you use your jaw. You flick your jaw up like this. And then out comes the smoke, like this. And then the third and final way that I know to blow smoke rings is to fill your mouth with smoke and then use your finger to flick your cheek. Let's try that. It's harder for me to do it that way. But there you go. One of my latest tricks is to use the tongue method and the jaw method almost simultaneously to try and get two smoke rings to go in each other. I have yet to master the technique, but we'll try it right now. The problem is that when I use the tongue method, it makes the smoke come out too fast. I still can't get it. Anyway, that's how you blow smoke rings. Madman Max 21 says, I'm late. If so, how late? You're about an hour late, but you're in luck because we have an extra long episode for you all today. We're just about ready to start playing Hearthstone, as I'm sure the folks on Twitch TV are itching to see. So don't you worry, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get to that in a moment. I don't know how to respond to that, so I'm not going to. Alright, let's make sure my chat boxes are in the appropriate positions. There we go. Hearthstone it is! Alright, Fancy Badger, let's do this. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. Bottoms up.
Your soul shall be mine. Victory or death.
SMD0 says, I love this music. Can anyone tell me what it is? Yes, I'm listening to a free streaming radio station called Radio Dismuke. Just go to radiodismuke.com and you can listen to this as well.
I greet you. Why do you call?
All right, Fancy Badger. Let's see what to do. What to do.
Great music of the 1920s and 1930s deserves to have an appreciative modern audience. You can help it find that audience. Why not email your friends right now? Let them know about the wonderful music you're enjoying right here on Radio Dismute. RadioDismute.com. HappyMusicRadio.com.
There we go. Goodness, this ash just refuses to fall off. I'm starting to get fairly nervous. Look at that. Fancy Badger, you are frustrating me.
My shield for Argus!
Okay, what's going on here? There we go. Oh my goodness. You just have all of them, don't you?
Shields up.
Madman Max 21 says, I will admit that is one fine cigar, Sir Oxhorn. Where might one buy such a delectable delight? This was a gift from Cigar Ox. I'm not sure where he got it, but there are many fine online establishments where you can buy delectables like this.
For the crusade!
Alright, you're starting to annoy me, Fancy Badger.
What now?
I got this. I got this.
Get behind me.
Novaski says, I tried to buy cigars once, but then they asked for a credit card, and my mom said no. probably a good thing. It's better to smoke cigars if you're of the legal age to do so. That is what I would recommend. Chief Smash asks, Ox, I watched the World of Warcraft Boom Diada Machinima recently. Anything interesting about how you got involved with your cameo? Yeah, so the fellow who produced that Machinima movie is a friend of mine who...
What now?
Sorry, let me focus here. There we go. He's a friend of mine. I am done. I am done.
Well played.
Anyway, he's a friend of mine who did some animation work on some of my videos in the past. Well played, Fancy Badger. Well played. And, so if you watch Inventing Swear Words 5, he's the one who did the CG animations of the dead Calbies, and also of Staghorn, Mortus, and Oxhorn crawling up that heat vent. And anyway, he just asked me. He said, I'm working on this machinima. I'd love it if you could be involved. And so I said, sure. And so I just did some vocal recordings for some of the characters that he asked to be in there, including Associate Professor Evil and Thunk, I believe. It was a good time.
You asked for it.
Victory or death!
Jack and Henry B says, how new to you are you to Hearthstone? I'm not at all new. I've been playing since the alpha. But if your question is how good am I at Hearthstone, that would be not good at all, because I refuse to buy cards. So that's my excuse. Take it or leave it. It's Doomageddon. Alright, Doomageddon, let's do this. Let's cross our swords.
One shot, one kill.
Greg Hartung says, you have enough to buy a pack. Perhaps a legendary lies within? Perhaps I will try after this, but I tend to be disappointed by those packs. Look at that. I'm almost halfway through the cigar and the ash is still there. Now that is a quality cigar. Thank you.
Strike.
How was that? Was that too noobish for you all? We'll see. Madman Max says, I'm thinking of getting my dad a smoking pipe to try and cut his smoking back. I'm just wondering if this is a good idea. It might be. It really depends upon the personality of your dad. I know that in the past, when I've bought tobacco pipes for my friends and family who smoke cigarettes with the goal of getting them to smoke less, it didn't really work. They would smoke the pipes and then continue to smoke the cigarettes. So that's just been my experience. It doesn't mean that you'll have the same experience. And there's really only one way to find out. 6 out of 10 says Dio Tay's deity. Well, thank you. I'll take that. 6 out of 10 is always good with me. Your turn, Doomageddon, my friend. What is on your plate? That works. Thank you.
Give me a quest.
Hyferial says, go with a decent vape setup to get someone off of cigarette smoking. It's been nearly a year for me without touching a single one. Also, that is one epic cigar, sir. Well, thank you very much. I have to concur. Some of my friends have been using vapes, and they've definitely cut back their cigarette smoking. So that may be an option. Ouch!
They'll never know what happened.
Doomageddon! Right in the Gulliver! Deshurada says, cigars for the stream, or do you smoke them all day? I definitely don't smoke them all day, because that would be an expensive habit indeed. I primarily smoke them just for the stream, or if there's a special occasion.
Quest accepted.
Jason Ramirez Eats Shovels says, say hi, please. Hi, please. Oh, wait, no, he says, say hi, Jason, please. Hi, Jason, please. There you go.
What to do?
I'm happy to perform on demand. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for a sip of scotch.
Hello, everybody. This is Mute. I would like to invite you to tune in to two very important right here on the first program is the Not Vintage Records program.
Hans Christian says, that is the most ridiculous ash I've ever seen. If the cigar is any bit as good, you must be in heaven. It is a delicious cigar. I can't complain at all. So, many kudos to Cigar Ox, who made this entire thing possible.
It marks the spot.
Quest accepted.
Alright, Doomageddon. Here we go.
Start time to your time zone. Visit the Radio News website.
Oh, and I lost the ash. Oh, my goodness. It lasted a good long while. And it's so strong that I can pick it up. Well, rest in peace, Ash. You are a fine friend. Okay, something's going on here.
Toyland lover.
What's gonna happen? Oh, okay.
Quest accepted.
The Dead Man says Egg Maduro is still the best ash. Yeah, the Egg Maduro ash is pretty epic. It comes out looking pretty. Oh no! My guys! Bummer. Okay, let's see. I will first do this. I will then do this. I will finish up with this. Hyferial says 100 points for a direct hit on the camera with the smoke ring. All right, let's see here. I need those points. 100 points for Oxhorn. Here we go. Oh, did that count? Let me try again. Oh! They're petering out just before it reaches the camera. Oh, I got the edge of it just there. All right, who's next? Me, I'm next. And this is the win. Thank you very much, Doomageddon. Good game, good game. Paula Poseidon says, where are you from, my brother? I am from Seattle, the great Pacific Northwest. Here I sit, accepting challenges from the lot of my friends. Let's see if we can get this to work.
Thrall versus Rexa. Let's the hunt begin for Doomhammer.
Greg Hartung. All right. Madman Max says, Oxhorn, my granddad told me to ball the smoke in your mouth, and as the smoke leaves your mouth, to curl your tongue for fine smoke rings. Kebab says, where's the scotch? Right here, good sir. A small vial of golden, beautiful nectar. Cheers and bottoms up. Oh, is it my turn? Oh, sorry, Greg. I hate to keep you waiting. All right, let me try your granddad's technique. Wow. I'm impressed. Huh. Oh, I need to end my turn? Oh, okay. Madman Max, your granddad knows his stuff. I just flicked my tongue like that instead of curling it back and going forward. I flicked it up. Let's try that again. I have less control. I have less control over them, but they do come out really nice and thick. Alright, Greg, what are you trying to do to me here? Huh. Not predictable. There we go. Wait, what was that? Greg? Are you destroying my minions? Ouch! I do protest.
What to do?
Join or die.
Let's try that. Braden Jum asks, what kind of cigar? I'm smoking a gift from Cigar Ox, and it's a Corojo No. 5 Gran Habano. It's a 7-inch 70 gauge, which is pretty doggone tasty. Oh no, not a secret. You and your filthy secrets, man. Oh. Alright, well, let's see what he's got. No! Ouch! Lame! Alright, that's frustrating me right there. I am officially perturbed in many ways. Doggone it. Just for that, I striketh you. Matuso7 says, Oxhorn, I used to watch all of your videos. You're an inspiration to me and was one of the reasons I got passionate for video making. Well, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Okay. Your move, good sir. Your move.
What to do? I wonder. Little time. Elements guide me. Idiot.
What was that? No, no, no! Jeepers. At least I got it in, right? Nicely played, nicely played.
Get behind me.
I'm still in this thing.
I'll take it, man.
Okay, let's see. No! Not my guy!
Elements guide me. Elements guide me. Job done.
Alright, you better finish me off this next turn. Lethusikia's Meat says, make me a mod, please. No. Sorry. Not happening. Alright, Greg. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Goes the clock. Don't pull a hard tongue now. That's okay. Take your time, Greg. Lethusius Meat, I can't make you a mod because you're brand new. I tend to make people who have been here for quite some time mods. No! He pulled a hard tongue! Oh, no! Greg! Well, at least I won. Oh, come on, Greg. My friend. Nicely done, nicely done. Good game, good game. Alright, let's see what I got. Okay, let's see what I got after this fight.
Brawl versus Jaina.
You asked for it.
For Doomhammer.
Diote Deity says Oxhorn doesn't have any standard decks. That's right, I do it my way. Gallicott says, hello, Oxhorn. Good to see you streaming again. Good to see you, too. Thanks so much for coming. Blurk Twerk says, is anyone allowed to challenge you or just friends? Anyone's allowed to challenge me if they're friends. That's just the way the game works. I sadly can't take challenges from non-friends. But you can add me as a friend on Battle.net. My net ID is Oxhorn, number 1649. Who am I fighting? Deregnite. Oh, Doomageddon. Alright, we can do this. Hyferial says, shaving, don't let Blizzard do that to you. I won't, my friend, I won't. They must stay quite far away from me with their razors. Alright, Doomageddon, let's see what you're made of. Martian Kitten says, I have a Hearthstone deck completely made up of cards with taunt. I bet that infuriates the people you play against.
Ready to ride. Elements guide me.
Ouch! Pain in my Gulliver. Alright, Doomageddon, you're winning now. But don't get too comfy. I like how he goes, roar! Sounds so fierce, even though he only does 2 damage.
They'll never know what hit them.
Ooh. You're wearing me down. Oh, really?
Taunt. Elements guide me.
That's what I get. The Dan Man says, I bet he can't beat my bubbles. I tend to do poorly against Paladin for that very reason. Ouch! Your move, good sir. Your move. Alright, I see what you're doing.
Get behind me. Done.
Martian Kitten says, you're such a relaxing stream to watch after a long day of killing noobs on the battlefield. Well, I appreciate that. You know, it's hard work killing noobs on the battlefield, and I admire anyone who can successfully do it. So feel free to come to this stream whenever you need a relief from killing said mobs. Or noobs. Both work. Good game, my friend.
Your magic shall not save you.
Well played, well played.
I'll take him.
Diote Deity says, sorry, what was your friend code again? My BattleNet ID is Oxhorn 1649. Another one, Fancy Badger. Okay. Alright, I can do this. Looking at her one says, Oxhorn, who did the voice acting for all of your old Machinima videos?
I will fight with honor.
That would be me. I did the majority of the voice acting. I had a few friends hop on every now and then. A buddy of mine named Mark did the voice of Staghorn. But I did the voices of Oxhorn, Mortus, and many of the other characters.
Well met. Greetings, friend. Thank you.
Well, we are just really pleasant chaps today, aren't we? Paragraphs says, the outtakes from those videos were funny. Yeah, we did have a good time with those. Uh-oh. Already with the secrets. What? Oh my goodness.
Well played.
Why, thank you. Zarnroz asks a pertinent question and says, are there different ways to keep your cigars and pipe tobacco, like different humidities and temperatures? Yes, and I will answer that question in one moment as soon as I figure out what just happened.
Your Chevrolet dealer's used car stock is packed with high-grade crazy. He has priced them so low That eager players are taking them away in quick time.
So for cigars, you need to keep them in a cedar container that is sealed but also has room for air to breathe. It's got room for air to circulate, and you need to keep it at 70 degrees Fahrenheit and at a humidity level of 70%. With pipe tobacco, you keep pipe tobacco in a sealed mason jar, and you put a little sponge of water in there to keep it moist, or an apple slice. Those are the best ways to go about it. Hyde Hill says, hey Oxhorn, hey chat, nice and relaxing here. Pleasure to have you, my friend, pleasure to have you.
Elements guide me.
All right, let's see what happens here. Oh!
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
Goodness gracious.
Tastingo! Yes! Elements guide me.
Alright, let's see how that fits, huh? Madman Max 21 says, an apple slice, really? Would you not have to change that every morning when one woke from a pleasant slumber? Not really. I mean, in the olden days, they would just take a slice of apple, put it in with their pipe tobacco.
I have no time for games.
And as long as it's not touching the tobacco, like maybe held up in the cap, you can keep in there for weeks on end, and it should be fine.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
What is going on? What is this? Death Rattle. Take control of a random enemy minion.
I wonder. What to do?
Probably a waste. But I wasn't about to let him have control of one of my minions. So there you go.
Bring out your dead.
Reporting for duty. Job's done.
Alright, try that on for size. Madman Max 21 is out. Pleasure to have had you, Madman Max. Enjoy your night.
Get behind me.
Job's done.
What was that? When this minion attacks, the player who blessed it draws a card? I have never seen that before. What just happened? This is getting close. What? If Fugan also died this game, summon Thaddeus. Holy cow. What on earth? Okay,
Elements guide me.
Rough and tumble.
Put your faith in the light. Reporting for duty.
Jeepers! Oh, Divine Shield, Taunt, Death Rattle. How many legendaries have you used this battle, my friend?
Elements guide me. Behold the might of Stormwind!
This is cutting it close. Well played, Fancy Badger. Either way, whoever wins deserves it. This has been a tough battle. What? Did you just... What? What was that?
Reporting for duty. Elements guide me. You call that a war? For the Alliance! Well played.
Well played indeed. I barely survived that, but victory. Victory, my friends. To the victor go the spoils. Now where are my spoils? Good game, good game. Yes! Alright, Blurk, we got this. Let's do it. Oh, Blurk canceled the challenge. Oh no, here we go. Woo! Peace Monks says, "Grats Oxhorn, you're my hero." Well, I thank you for that. I must say, you made a wise decision. There are many other people that you could idolize. Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King Jr. But the fact that you chose me is, I think, a reasonable decision. Just saying. 1649 is my battle tag net number.
Well met.
Well met, good sir. Alright.
What now?
I'm trying to get in here to play the game. There we go.
Reporting for duty.
Let's see. This has been a good cigar. Thank you, Cigar Ox. It's starting to burn a little unevenly, so let's fix it up a little bit. Ouch! This is the last one, I think, ladies and gentlemen. Good gaming all around. Really? Okay. Duxco says, hey Scotch, any remedies to kill beer gnats after a night of drinking? That's a great question. Well, I live in Seattle, and so I really don't acquire many gnats. That's one secret to living in Seattle. You really don't deal with bugs all that often. Even in the summer, the insects are not that big of an issue. My only suggestion would be to get some of those gnat strips and hang them up around you, and maybe get one of those electronic fly swatters. That may be the best bet.
I'm made of it.
Tastingo! Yeah! Rooster, oh God! Job's done. Get down!
Alright, Poe the Ghost, your turn. Gentleman Badger is bowing out. Pleasure to have had you in the chat, Gentleman Badger. What is going on? Wow, that was intense. Nicely played.
All the flirting and the worry that he causes.
Bam! Kapow! Shazam!
Job's done.
Feeling good. Feeling good.
Come on and let us bring joy to the music. Sing out.
Rush the pirate's call.
My music so from morn till dark. See a lark in
For the war chief! For house green!
Strike!
I've gotten quite a lot of good use out of this little fellow here. This armor smith guy. Your move, Mr. Ghost. Whoa, no, not the Divine Shield thing. Oh, rubbish.
Get behind me.
Job's done.
Do what you gotta do, my friend.
Reporting for duty. son. Reporting for duty.
Get behind me.
Oh, man. Yay!
Well played.
Good game, good game. I was waiting for Mortal Strike to get up to 12. I had to have... Alright, that was the last one. I'm not going to do any more challenges. I have people in the chat just freaking out. Oh, cool, I got a priest epic card, and I never use priests. And everything else is fairly common, so... Alright, ladies and gents. Whoa, I'm lagging. Close game, but nicely played, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so as we do at the end of every episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings, I blow a smoke ship. That's right, I take the powers that are put together with the set bonus of beard, hat, suspenders, and cigar, and I create out of nothingness a smoke ship to tantalize everyone for the ages. Duxco says, we only get to see you once a week, Scotch. What should we expect? You should expect amazing cigars, excellent scotch, and gentlemanly conversation. That's all I can promise. That's all I deliver. What kind of smoke ship would you guys like to see? William Moore says, Oxhorn dressed as a lumberjack while driving a hayride tractor. On the hayride is Lady Nova dressed as Red Riding Hood, Gavin as the Big Bad Wolf, and Gwendolyn dressed as the Grandma. Also with them is the Master of Euphemisms, Thunk, Hat the Turtle, and all of the little dead cowbies trick-or-treating for Halloween candy, bacon, and turkey legs. Meanwhile, Oxhorn, Staghorn, and Mortus are defending the hayride from the evil Headless Horseman who is bent on stealing everyone's candy. Nicely done. And I think that's all we're going to get for the evening because this episode has been 2 hours and 14 minutes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Pay close attention because if you blink, you will miss it. But here's the smoke ship. Whoa! Did you see it? It was there for only a few brief moments, but before your very eyes was Oxhorn dressed as a lumberjack while driving a hayride tractor. On the hayride was Lady Nova dressed as Red Riding Hood, while Gavin, the Big Bad Wolf, and Gwendolyn as the Grandma. Also with them was the Master of Euphemisms, dressed... Oh, and the little dead cowboys were trick-or-treating for Halloween, trying to get candy, bacon, and turkey legs. Meanwhile, Oxhorn, Staghorn, and Mortus and Lacey were defending the hayride from the evil Headless Horseman, who was bent on stealing everyone's candy. Duxco says, it was nice seeing you again. Pleasure to see you again, Dux. Zara Suma says, oops, I turned in late. I know you did, but at least you caught the very end of it. And everyone else, thank you so much for coming to this week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings, either episode 273 or 274, depending on how you do the math. I'll figure it out before I post it. Anyone, be sure to tune in next week. Same Ox time, same Ox channel. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, I beg you to I bid you adieu and beg you to stay classy.